Good morning again. So today I am going to review uh, Interpreter of Melodies by Jhumpa Lahiri, which I recently completed. As you can see uh, on the cover also, this book was the winner of the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction 2000. Now, I read this book for the first time, and this is a collection or anthology of 9 short stories written by Jhumpa Lahiri. Jhumpa Lahiri is mostly tells stories of the lives of Indians in exile, people who are navigating between the strict traditions I am reproducing, they have inherited, and the baffling new world they must encounter every day. Each of these stories, most of these stories are set in America, about the Indian expats in America or England. A couple of stories are also set in Calcutta, in Bengal. So I would like to read. While all these stories are beautiful, are wonderful, but I was really impressed by the last few lines in the last story in this book. Here, the main protagonist, he says, I know that my achievement is quite ordinary. I am not the only man to seek his fortune far from home, and certainly I am not the first. Still, there are times I am bewildered by each mile I have travelled, each meal I have eaten, each person I have known, each room in which I have slept. As ordinary as it all appears, there are times when it is beyond my imagination. Extremely impressive, extremely impressive. Now, the first story is titled A Temporary Matter, and it's somewhere in the America. There is a temporary, the supply company has informed that there is going to be a temporary shutdown of electricity for about an hour each evening, beginning at 8 p.m. And so there's a couple. The wife is Shobha and the husband is Shukumar, and they both work. And so it's their exploration of each other, their relation. They have been married a few years. Their exploration of each other over the next few days during these dark evenings, when the light has been shut off and shut down, and they talk to each other. Their relationship is going nowhere. The Shobha had a miscarriage. I mean, she carried her pregnancy to full term, and then it was a stillborn child. And on the last day, Shobha says that she's moving out. She wants to, explore herself or see how she can take life forward. And Shukumar tells her a secret that he held the stillborn child to his chest, and they both then weep together on these steps. The next story is titled When Mr. Pirzada Came to Dine. Now, this is set in the autumn of 1971, and once again, it's an Indian expat family living in America in a university campus, and one Mr. Pirzada, he has come from Dhaka, which was at that point of time in Pakistan. He has come, and so the parents of this is recited from the point of view of the child. And the Mr. Pirzada, the parents invite Mr. Pirzada to come to their house every evening to have dinner, and they hear news together. And then he has left his family behind, and Pakistan at that point of time is in a turmoil, in civil war. The East Pakistan people are fighting for their freedom, and he does not know what is happening to his daughters or to his family. And eventually East Pakistan becomes Bangladesh, and Mr. Pirzada leaves the house and never comes back again. He writes once that he has met his family, and they are safe. The third story is Interpreter of Melodies. Once again, there's one Mr. and Mrs. Das, if I am not mistaken, who, along with their 3 children, they have come to India in Odisha at that time, and they are going to the Sun Temple. And there's one Mr. Kapasi who is the driver come guide for them. He's taking them to the Sun Temple, And this Mr. Kapasi says that he is also an interpreter of melodies, in the sense that he works with a Gujarati doctor, and there are many people who come there who do not understand the other language, and then he interprets their melodies to the doctor. Who are Gujaratis. The doctor is not Gujarati, but there are several Gujaratis who come. So he interprets the melodies to the doctor. Now the wife tells him a secret when the three children, two boys, one girl, and the husband, they have gone out to something. She somehow feels a kind of a bond towards this Mr. Kapasi, and she tells him that the one boy is not that of the father who is with them. It was through a extramarital affair that she had that boy, and she is wanting this interpreter of melodies to tell her whether it was right or wrong. And Mr. Kapasi tells her that I think you are only trying to assuage your guilt by telling me this. So this is where it ends. It does not end here. I mean, the wife tells him to give her his address, and she will send the photographs that they have clicked of Mr. Kapasi, and the address just flutters out of her bag. Then there is a real Darwan. This is set in Calcutta. There is a Burima who sweeps the stairwell in a kind of a dilapidated building, which is more like a chawl of Bombay. And so there are several people living there. And this Burima she just, she keeps telling that she comes from a very well-to-do, well-off family. And no one knows whether she is telling a truth or she's just imagining those things. And she just sweeps the stairwell, and the family gives her sometimes some clothes, something to eat, and that's how she lives there. And one of the tenants, gets a sink or a wash basin, and once and installs it on the staircase so that everyone can use it. And then there is everyone wants to have a wash basin of their own. And the Burima, eventually, the wash basin gets stolen, and everyone then, this Burima who had been working as a Darwan, kind of a Darwan, securing the premises, she is blamed for this, and she is turned out, and she leaves. The next one is Sexy. This is again about somewhere in America, two women working in a telephone company, and the one woman, unmarried, she is in an extramarital affair, and she is made to babysit for a friend, and this young boy actually makes her realize the futility of an affair with a married man. She is into an affair with a married man, and so he makes her realize the futility of an affair with a married man. Then there is one Mrs. Sain's. Mr. and Mrs. Sain are once again in America. Mr. Sain teaches in the university. Mrs. Sain is a homemaker. She lives at home. She chops vegetables, and generally keeps the household. She is very reluctant to learn driving. Mr. Sain has been giving her lessons. Once again, she starts babysitting for a boy, Elliot, and she tries to brush up her driving also, with Elliot sitting by his side when after school when he comes to her, and it's the condition of the woman as an expat in that country. She does not work. She feels lonely, and she finds satisfaction in doing those little things like chopping vegetable, buying fish and chopping fish, and talking to this boy. And then one day she takes the boy out for a drive to buy fish, and on the way there's an accident, and that's the last day that the boy comes to her as a day boarder, and that's the end of it. And probably then Mrs. Sain would go back to her life as a homemaker. There's this story, this blessed house. Again, Sanjeev and his wife Twinkle, they buy a house, and various artifacts start coming up in this house. She starts finding those artifacts, Christian artifacts, like a statue of Jesus and a painting of the Mother Mary, and so all these, and the husband does not like it. The wife, though Hindu, she feels very happy that this is a blessed house, and it's a kind of the distance that the married couples, if you are into the marriage, they go through different tastes. And so this is something, marriage is something which you have to keep working on, you have to keep evolving on. Then there's the treatment of Bibi Haldar. This is set in India, this is set in Bengal. And this Bibi Haldar, she is 29 years old and she is not married, and she gets fits. And people do not know what is getting her fits. And eventually, finally, someone impregnates her and she gets this child, and she gets the meaning of her life. After that, she does not get a fit. And the last story is the third and final continent, where a man, he leaves India in 1964. He gets married in India and then leaves, leaving a wife of a few weeks behind. So they don't know each other really. And finally the wife, and then for about 6 months he boards with a very old lady, about 104 years old lady, Mrs. Croft. A young man and this old woman develop a friendship, a friendship. And she feels happy. She is lonely, and he's also lonely, and so they develop a friendship. They talk to each other, and then eventually his wife is to join, and so he leaves and buys another house, and shows his wife, takes his wife to meet this Mrs. Croft, and then from there on, the husband and wife start developing an understanding of each other, and then they have a son, and then he moves far. The Mrs. Croft also dies, but then they start understanding each other. They start loving each other. So the stories are all about human relationship, all about the husband-wife relationships, the relationships with friends, and that's where I read the last lines from. That as ordinary as it all appears, there are times when it is beyond my imagination. So that's the complete book, and I really loved reading each of these stories. Interpreter of Melodies by Jhumpa Lahiri. And thank you once again. Bye bye. Wait for the next book which I am reading. I'll post a review for that also. Thank you.